आप देख रहे हैं द राइट न्यूज और मैं हूं रोहित भट्ट। द राइट कन्वर्सेशन में हम आपकी मुलाकात आज करवाने जा रहे हैं डॉक्टर एम के राजदान जी से, जो कि पैट्रन है सामाजिक विकास संस्थान प्रेसिडेंट जय एंड महाराज कृष्ण फाउंडेशन के। आज एक स्पेशल मुलाकात है डॉक्टर साहब से, क्योंकि हम हमेशा कोशिश करते हैं कि हम आपके सामने ऐसे चेहरे लाएं जिन्होंने समाज के लिए बहुत ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशन जिन्होंने किया होता है, लेकिन वो कभी भी लाइमलाइट नहीं चाहते, वो अपने कार्यों को लेके अपनी प्रशंसा नहीं करवाना चाहते। लेकिन वी आर वेरी थैंकफुल टू डॉक्टर साहब कि इन्होंने आज हमें समय दिया और बड़ी मुश्किल से ये हमारे आज हाथ लगे हैं। फाइनली इनकी लाइफ हिस्ट्री और इनकी जर्नी के बारे में हम जरूर बात करेंगे और इनके कंट्रीब्यूशन के बारे में। उससे पहले मैं आपको ये दिखाना चाहता हूं, अगर मैं ये पढ़ने बैठ जाऊं तो मुझे लगता है 2-3 घंटे कहीं नहीं गए। तो इन्हीं से जरूर जानेंगे, क्योंकि इनका जो कंट्रीब्यूशन रहा है, ये इतने सारे पेजेस है, आप देख सकते हैं कितना कार्य इन्होंने यहाँ पे समाज के लिए किया हुआ है। सबसे पहले डॉक्टर साहब आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है द राइट न्यूज में।
थैंक यू।
डॉक्टर साहब, हम जानना चाहेंगे आपके शुरुआती दौर के बारे में, आपके कश्मीर में जो आपका कनेक्शन है उसके बारे में, बचपन के बारे में।
I was born in Habakal, Srinagar in 1940, and my grandfather built a small house in Karnagar in 1953.
जी।
Then I did my FSc from SP College, MBBS, Gandhi Medical College, Bhopal, MD, All India Institute of Medical Sciences.
जी।
1971 में मैं यहाँ से चला गया to USA.
राइट।
वहाँ पर केस वेस्टर्न रिजर्व यूनिवर्सिटी में मैंने इंटर्नशिप की,
राइट।
रेजिडेंसी, फेलोशिप, देन आई वाज ऑन अ स्टाफ फॉर 1 year.
ओके।
1978 I went to Texas and opened my practice
राइट।
of nephrology, dialysis, kidney disease, hypertension and kidney transplant. I have continued their practice for some time, but I partly retired in 2016.
जी।
And since then, I have been coming to India off and on.
राइट। 2016 की बात कर रहे हैं आप, उसके बाद आप आते हैं। मैं अपने दर्शकों को बता दूं कि इनकी संस्था में ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि ये फंड रेज करते हैं फिर सामाजिक कार्य करते हैं। ये अपना खुद का पैसा अपने समाज के लिए इन्वेस्ट करते हैं और उनकी सहायता करते हैं। डॉक्टर साहब, हम जानना चाहेंगे कि 2016 में जब आप वापस आए, उसके बाद आपकी जो सामाजिक कार्यों में आपने काम करना स्टार्ट किया, शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई थी?
2010 से।
2010 में आपने क्या क्या शुरू किया था जिससे हमारे दर्शकों को पता लगे उसके बारे में?
2010 में मैं ट्रैवल कर रहा था फ्रॉम लद्दाख via Srinagar to Delhi by road. So while staying here in Srinagar, there wasn't much going on in 2010 anyway, so we went to Zeetir. In Zeetir, we found that there were 3 people who were taking care of the Zeetir temple.
Right.
Maharaj Krishna Panita, Kuldeep Rana, and Sanjay Bhan.
Okay.
I met them and was glad to work with them, and I built 5 room sets.
Okay.
And at that time, each room was worth 2 lakhs.
Okay.
So I continued the work, and as it happens in a Kashmiri community, they fight.
Okay.
So there was a fight between Kuldeep Rana company and somebody over there. I think it was Bharat Bhushan Bhatt or somebody like that. And they split. I don't know what they did, but anyway, they took control of the Zeetir. I met Mr. Barsa once. I said, well, let me work with you, but I will not give you any money. You tell me what I have to do and I will build it. They refused. They said, if we have to do anything with the temple, give us money first. And at that time, Samajik Vikas Sansthan was born.
Okay. 2010 में start हुआ.
So I thought that we should start something of our own where we can work ourselves. So that's how Samajik Vikas Sansthan was born.
Okay. देन उसके बाद हम जानना चाहेंगे कि अभी जो मैं ये देख पा रहा हूँ कि बहुत सारे कार्य और भी किए हैं, उनके बारे में आप बताइए कि जैसे पोखरेबल में है, बाकी यात्री निवास है, खीर भवानी के बारे में हम बात करेंगे, सामाजिक विकास संस्थान की जो बिल्डिंग है, वो सब चीजें उनके बारे में जरूर जानना चाहेंगे आपसे।
When I decide to work, I usually first pick up a temple. I meet the trustees of that temple. I tell them, look, I will want to work with you, and whatever needs for the temple are there, I will do it. And once that is completed, I will give it back to you. I won't have anything to do with it.
Right.
So that's what I have been doing. I think my first attempt was Gopi Tirth.
Okay.
Gopi Tirth because I lived here and I used to go with my father over there and yes, on a walk or something. So after the terrorism, we went there and we found that the temple was burnt. The Shivling has been blasted out with gunpowder.
Oh.
There was a spring with a beautiful water. They had put pipes into it and drained the water out to the villages.
Right.
And they had also, I think, expressed a desire that part of it is ours, Muslims. So I took it over there first. Number one, I took those pipes out. Then I rebuilt the temple, put the same Shivling back there.
Right.
And I remember there were 3 people who lifted the Shivling, myself, Penta,
Okay.
Bansab, and perhaps Kuldeep Rana. We bodily picked it up, put it there, and rebuilt it. I rebuilt the spring.
Okay.
We dug about 5 to 10 feet down, and we found 2 murtis which are still there. But there are certain things, something like that on a stone, and there is engraved some shlokas from Sanskrit, which we perhaps wisely or not wanted to translate. And one of the translation was Pandavas were here.
Okay. अच्छा वो था वहां पे लिखा हुआ.
And those 2 stones are outside the Ganesha temple.
Okay.
There's a Ganesha temple we built later on. And just at the door of Ganesha temple, I have put those 2 stones there. And finally, we got a caretaker, and I paid the salary and all that, and built a 1-room set over there and everything. Now, that place was under Ishbar temple
Ishbar, okay.
in the Rana. After I completed it, I told them, okay, I will continue to take care of it. They said, no, we'll take over.
Okay.
So they took over. A couple of things happened. There was a Dhanapatra full of money. Somebody took it away.
Oh.
And they also stopped paying the salary of the caretaker over there. There is another company which is based in Ranavari, who are supposed to be trustees of that temple.
Right.
We tried to tell them, well, why don't you go and take over and give the whatever money is required, you spend it. They haven't done it, and it is just like that. Now, if you go there, the caretaker will start, and he's a deaf and dumb, by the way. He will start crying, well, I'm not getting any money, but he still goes there and cleans the whole area. But he has not left, and he works there without salary.
Okay.
So that is Gopi Tirth.
खीर भवानी मंदिर की अगर हम बात करें, टेम्पल की बात करें, तो वो धर्मा ट्रस्ट के अंदर आता है, लेकिन वहां पे भी समाज सुधार की जो बिल्डिंग है उसके बारे में जरूर बताइए.
I had gone there actually, and I found this building was in shambles. Nobody had taken care of it. I met this Sudhar Samiti in Jammu. There are a bunch of old people over there who sit there, discuss politics, have kahwa and tea, and kuchur,
Right.
and do nothing. Okay. So I told them, look, there is a building over there, I'll take care of it. So I rebuilt the temple, the building. Okay,
Right.
and also partly furnished it.
Hmm.
Then I told them, look, you are sitting in Jammu, doing nothing. Why don't you let me take care of the building?
Okay.
Their answer, as usually with Kashmiri Pandits, no.
Hmm.
So I do go there off and on. I do clean it, and there is one caretaker, Mattu, Jawaharlal Mattu, who takes care of it. His brother is sick, and I take care of him also. So this is Sudhara Samiti and the building in Tulmur. But what I want to really talk is not Sudhara Samiti, but Dharmarth. There are temples in the valley who are under the control of Dharmarth.
Yes.
They do not do much over there. All they do is collect the money, collect it over there, pocket it, and take it to Jammu. Many times they have left these temples in ruins. And this is, and I'm talking about Raghunath temple.
Right.
And then when everything falls up, they sell the whole thing to the Muslims here. This is what Dharmarth is doing. In case of Tulmul, I went there and there were certain things. Number one, there was a lot of filth and dirt around that area.
Right.
They allow cars, motorcycles, trucks to go inside towards the temple. Number three, Muslims are fine, they are fine. They also go there, perhaps I don't know what kind of faith they have in the temple. They also go there. What I would like to do is, in fact, I have not talked this to the Lieutenant Governor. They need to do the same thing what they did with Vaishno Devi.
Right.
At that time, the governor, Jagmohan, took over the temple complex, and you see what is Vaishno Devi now.
Yeah, right. Right. Right.
Okay? They should do the same thing in Tulpur. But if he does it, there is going to be a lot of halagula in Jammu. Okay? So I would recommend that the governor should meet the people of the temple and tell them, why don't you let us take over? And then take step by step. My faith is that eventually these temples should be given to Kashmiri Pandits
Okay.
who have been taking care of these temples without any control from Jammu. Okay?
Right.
I don't know whether that will happen or not. Same thing is various temples which have been controlled by the Dharmarth. Same conditions. They take the money, do nothing.
ओके सो आप हम दर्शकों को ये बताना चाहेंगे कि डॉक्टर साहब सोशल एक्टिविस्ट भी हैं, इन्होंने आपको बताया है कि कितने कार्य इन्होंने अभी तक किए हैं। वैसे भी इनके जितने भी कार्य हैं हम इतनी कम समय में पूरा नहीं बता सकते आपको, लेकिन और भी इनसे बातचीत करेंगे हम। लेकिन सर अब हम जानना चाहेंगे कि आप समाज को बहुत गहराई से देख रहे हैं, इतने सालों से देख रहे हैं। मेरा आपसे ये सवाल रहेगा कि क्या आपको लगता है कि हमारे समाज में यूनिटी है, एकता है?
No.
जी, मैं आप दर्शकों को ये बताना चाहूंगा कि जब भी मैंने ये सवाल किए तो हमेशा ये बोला जाता है, जितने भी हमारे एक्टिविस्ट होते हैं या हमारे पॉलिटिकल लीडर्स हैं हमारे समाज में, वो कहते हैं कि बहुत बड़ी बड़ी एकता है। लेकिन लास्ट एक दो इंटरव्यू से कुछ लोगों ने ऐसे बोला कि एकता नहीं है, लेकिन डॉक्टर साहब ने भी नो का इन्होंने बोला सबसे पहले। क्यों आपको ऐसा लगता है सर?
आपस में लड़ते हैं।
आप लड़ते हैं?
And
जी,
they do not think about the whole Samaj.
राइट।
They think of themselves. How much money I can make if I join this, if I do this.
हम एक और चीज़ आपसे जानना चाहेंगे कि वापसी की बात होती है कि कश्मीरी पंडितों को वापस आना है। हर एक जो समाज में जितने भी ग्रुप्स हैं अलग अलग, उनके अपने अपने तर्क रहते हैं कि हमें किस तरीके से वापस जाना चाहिए। आपसे जानना चाहेंगे, आपको क्या लगता है कि क्या बेस्ट वे है कि कश्मीरी पंडित रिटर्न हो सकते हैं?
They need to return in a way that their safety is ensured, number one. Now, who will ensure the safety? Not the government. The Muslims of Kashmir themselves, they should say, okay, you are all safe now, we'll take care. But there's a problem. The problem is Pakistan still has an influence among most of the Muslims around here. And you see once in a while somebody getting killed. Goli maar di usko to bas. And something like Riyasi happening every day.
Right, अभी भी हुआ.
So once that is taken care of, that then only the Kashmiri Pandits can come. However, that doesn't mean that they should just forego everything. No. We are the best doctors. We are the best teachers.
Right.
Okay. There is a school somewhere around, I don't know where it is, near the airport, which is run by a Kashmiri Pandit and his family and his wife. And there are the students, majority of them are Muslims. Okay. I remember meeting two colonels in the Indian Army who were based here. I forgot their names. They called me a few days ago that they want to open a school.
Okay.
The school is where the Kashmiri Pandits have been settled by the government, and I am in the process of helping them. We are going to rent a house. They will have a couple of two, 3 teachers, and the first will be the lower KG.
Right.
And then we'll build it up till it goes to grade 12.
Right. Right.
Okay. So this is what many people are thinking of.
एक और सवाल मेरे मन में आया है पर्सनली, मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगा आपको कि आज की डेट में 370 के हटने के बाद आप हर साल यहाँ आते हैं, हर साल आप 1-1.5 महीने यहाँ बिताते हैं. 370 के बाद आपको क्या लगता है कि टाइम चेंज हो चुका है?
Yes.
जी.
Yes.
Okay.
The day it was done, I was in Delhi and I was glued to the TV. I remember my mother and father, what they would have said when it happened. 370 made it clear to Pakistan, you can't have it. 370 made it clear to the Muslims of this place, you are Indians and you are going to die as Indians. Okay? And I have met many Muslims around here who consider themselves as Indians. And many of those people are Ali Shah Gilani. Okay? They are really against him and telling themselves when he was doing those hartals, they were starving, all of them. They couldn't go and sell their products, nadrus and all those things, fish and other. And now, there was a fellow whom few days I talked to, and he said that in the world, there is so much thing going on. Gaza, Ukraine, other places in the Middle East, Israel, Egypt. But the thing is, Kashmir is the only place now which is at peace. This was a Muslim who said.
Right.
Okay. So things have changed. It should have been done long time ago. But we had very, very poor cowards at the central government, the Congress party. They really created problems except one, Indira Gandhi, who got us Bangladesh. She was the only one. But the rest of the Congress people are crooks, cowards, and did nothing. And I am the one who has been pro-Modi all the time because he finished up Article 370. Even though I do not agree with other things he has been doing or BJP doing or Jana Sangh doing, I am against him. But he got us a Kashmir.
Right, right. मेरा आखिरी सवाल आपसे ये रहेगा, बातचीत तो बहुत करेंगे हम, लेकिन आखिरी सवाल ये रहेगा कि जो हमारे यहाँ पे पीएम पैकेज एम्प्लॉयज़ हैं, क्या आप मानते हैं कि ये वो एक कड़ी है जो एक ब्रिज की तरह वापसी की ओर काम कर रहे हैं?
Yes. Yes. And that should have been a long time ago. And many, in fact, rather surprised. The colonel who talked to me about the school, The school is for the people who have come here as the PM package.
राइट
वो अपने बच्चे हिंदू स्कूल में भेजना चाहते हैं. At the present time where they live, they do not have such a school.
Right.
They want to start it. That means their thinking is that they want to settle permanently here.
राइट राइट मैं ये दर्शकों को ज़रूर बताना चाहूँगा कि हम डॉक्टर साहब से बात और भी करेंगे और इनके पास इतना कुछ है बोलने के लिए. मैं वाकई में बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे बात करके, क्योंकि मुझे आपके बारे में पता भी नहीं था अभी इस समय तक कि आपने इतना कार्य किए हैं और इतना नज़दीकी से आप समाज को जानते हैं. बहरहाल बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका सर. बहुत जल्द फिर से बात करेंगे आपसे. मैं अपने दर्शकों को बता दूं कि ऐसे लोगों से ज़रूर हम आपको मिलाते रहेंगे जिन्होंने हमारे समाज के लिए बहुत कार्य किए हैं, लेकिन वो लाइमलाइट नहीं चाहते, वो उसे शो ऑफ नहीं करना चाहते. लेकिन कुछ लोग ऐसे भी होते हैं जो कुछ भी नहीं करते हैं लेकिन हाईलाइट अपने आप को बहुत ज़्यादा करते हैं. तो आज डॉक्टर साहब से मिलके मुझे पर्सनली बहुत अच्छा लगा और उम्मीद करते हैं आप सबको भी बहुत अच्छा लगेगा. बहुत जल्द फिर से आपसे मुलाकात होगी. इन्हीं के साथ फिर से करेंगे बातचीत. तब तक देखते रहिए द राइट न्यूज़. नमस्कार.